YouTube, Petey Twofinger here with a real tough video for me to make. Corey Taylor is the lead singer from a band called Slipknot. So Corey Taylor, they've got a new album coming out and it's a big deal. He made some comments as to the fact that this band called Imagine Dragons is the new Nickelback. So Nickelback is a meme band that everyone picked on. Popular thing on the internet was to poke fun of Nickelback. And he is, for some reason, calling out this band called Imagine Dragons. Now, when I had heard of that band, I had seen their name, but never listened to them. I asked my daughter, I said, what about Imagine Dragons? Are they any good? She said, oh, no, 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 no. Like, no, 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 no. And I had, thought because of their name, they might be a math rock, proggy kind of guitar band, like Attack Attack meets Dillinger, something like that. And she quickly told me, no. And later on, I grew to realize that Imagine Dragons was the music I was being forced to listen to against my will when I went shopping in resale stores. I would hear that. And then I saw footage of the guy, and he's got his, of course, shirtless with his dick root showing. His skinny jeans are pulled way down. And he's dancing around, and he's jumping up in the air, and he's skipping, and he's bobbing and weaving, and here he is, and all the confetti cannons are blowing up, and he's all glistened out with glycerin all over him, so he's shiny, and everyone is just sitting there slack-jawed. No one in the crowd is clapping. My buddy, my singer pal, he had a couple of bad ex-wife deals where his old ladies were cheating on him, and he had a drinking problem, and he had DUIs, and he wasn't exactly Clooney in the facial department, and he went after women that he would consider knockouts or close to it. So what he would end up with, because of he was kind of lacking he wasn't exactly Robert Redford, and 3 UI, and then the saucing to the point of intoxication or unconsciousness daily. The only fish that he could reel out of the sea that was knockout grade USDA choice piece of ass, we could say, would be something in the bruised, dented, and flawed manager special department, which usually meant infidelity, and then something up with the voice or halitosis, or something major wrong with the personality. And so he ended up with some winners. And I remember the last one, I asked her, because she didn't seem like she was right at all. I said, well, he's a music person, and I'm just curious what. And she was like, no, I don't really have a. I said, well, if you had to pick two, what would you pick? And she said, puddle of mud and cradle of filth. Now, I think that her brother was a juggalo. He had that where your head explodes and the stuff comes out, the springs come out. That haircut, whatever you call that, it's like pre-county jail haircut, juggalo haircut. He had that, and I'm guessing those 2 CDs were in his car when she gave him a ride over to Dan. Every time I would come over, she wouldn't stop saying, Dan. His name is Dan. Take the garbage out. And then there was this dog, Jingles. Jingles. She would come home, Jingles. And she would get on the ground and roll around and kissing this dog, and the tongues are flying around, and then she would lay in and Dan. And so there was this over affectionate with the beast, and then unbelievably horrible to my friend. And every time I came over, it was time for her to yell at him to take the garbage out, which really just meant she didn't want me around. So that ended up putting the brakes on our friendship, and he caught her with another guy, and then got rid of her, and then I came around again. He got a hold of me, and it was cool for us to hang out until he got on Tinder and found this stripper named girl. And they went to a show, and he posted that on his Facebook, and I saw this picture, this selfie he had taken of them two at this show. And it wasn't Cradle of Filth, it wasn't Imagine Dragons, it wasn't Nickelback, it wasn't Slipknot, it was Imagine Dragons. There was my friend. And he wasn't happy in the picture. He was just stone-faced. And behind him, you could see, like, the hill where the general admission seats are, bone dry. Nobody in the hill. And then where the seats were, it was like maybe a third of the seats were filled for Imagine Dragons. And the people that were there, I saw one little kid, like a 7-year-old kid, who was like, he looked like he was trying to asphyxiate himself with his tongue sticking out. Everyone else, all the old people in the show, like older than me, they all look like, I don't know if they had bussed them in from old folks' homes to fill the seats, but they look like they were in a waiting room for a dentist's office on the way to have a root canal. All of them look like they were major, like, depths of a huge blue depression or some kind of sadness. They just found out that their loved one had cancer at this Imagine Dragons show. Like, that's... So, through my existence on being online, I spent a lot of time online, and I've been online longer, like twice as long as most normal folks. Meaning I signed up and got online in 96. So I've seen, like, the Wild Wild West days, the heyday, the cracking down, the gray area, and more people come in, and then the cell phones, when all of a sudden everyone's here, and it sucks. So these memes of, like, Mike Patton is God, and here's a little boy, he's bad, it's Justin Bieber, or Katie BB, Baby Gaga, who's this blonde with the squinty eyes, Sally Swift, all of those people, these memes that, like, they suck. Like, of course they do. Do you even need to waste your time? Like, I've seen my good guitar playing brethren, like people I respect, posting this stuff, like getting all riled up. Like, for me, I'm not going to waste my time and get emotionally involved pointing that out, because it's such an unbelievable no-brainer to me. Now, where this becomes a problem is when that stuff takes over and we don't have any of this anymore. That's when it becomes a problem. And that's where we're at now. Rock is dead. Some journalists, rock is dead. Ha. And everyone freaked out. Guitar is dead. Everyone's freaking out on it now. What I try to keep in my mind is the fact that there are evil forces in this world. Some people call it the Illuminati. We got Alex Jones. The frogs are turning gay. And all of this crazy stuff. You might want to put the brakes on some of that tinfoil hat stuff. But the reality of it is there is a place called Tavistock Institute. And the Beatles didn't write their songs. The teen generation, the hippie generation, LSD 25, all that stuff was manufactured. There's an author, oh no, I'm never going to be able to remember his name, Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon, okay, where we can read how they weaponized rock and roll and how it was done so to eliminate the patriarchy, the family, eliminate the church, get people on drugs, get people to drop out of society, to get people to have that the state was the new church and the new family infrastructure. Okay, that's what's going on. They've got other plans for the minorities, which is why they ushered in hip hop. Okay, so all of this stuff is true. It's stuff we don't really know about. It's stuff you can never find out about. They won't really write about it on the surface, but you can find out certain tidbits of information and put the pieces together yourself. Okay, so I'm not going to get mad and shake my fist at the little boy, Justin Bieber, because I know it's not him. He is part of a huge system that they're paying to manufacture this music, to fill up the charts and the airwaves, so there's no chance anyone with one of these, like our old pal John Lennon, is going to get through and throw a stick in their proverbial, a wrench in their machine. That's why we have Super Bowl halftime shows, and you see Katy Perry riding a lion, all that symbolism and symbology that's incorporated into this stuff. So that's a real thing. And this band like Imagine Dragons is just another cog in that machine. So I'm not going to post all these memes and everything and get upset and shake my fist at it. It does suck. How I fight back is with this. I just write my own music, make my own music, and I try to influence others around me to do so, because I feel this is healthy for us as a society. I feel like the public, as the working man, should have a voice. The blue collar guy should, because that's what the crosshairs are on right now. They're getting rid of the middle class. So there's no room for that anymore. We just have this music where you're throwing money. And I'm not out to alienate myself by anyone by talking bad or being a racist because I don't like hip-hop. I'll just say that I know about making music with one of these, and I know that it's instant gratification using a program such as Fruity Loops, how a minimal investment of time can make something so impressive and sound so wonderful. And I know also, using one of these, the other way, of how difficult it is to create something that sounds listenable to excellent. So that being said, when I first started doing this stuff, I wasn't making any music with the electronically. I did it all with guitars and on tape. And through that process of doing it, I've got a lot better. Infinitely better. So I'm just here to encourage people. Yes, we have, but nobody really listens to that. People who listen to that is that guy and his girlfriend I was talking about. These empty people that have to have these ornaments, or they surround themselves in their life to decorate themselves, to look at me. I have self-worth. I'm creative. I'm diverse. I have that spark. You know what? Those people don't have anything. They've got those empty, that Creed, all these horrible bands these people listen to, and then the pop and hip hop music with the strippers shaking the booty, shaking and throwing the money, and the lead and all that. That's fine, and I'm not here to rip on anybody's culture. What I'm saying is that's not for me. This is what I stand by. And I know the difference between making music with one of these and one of those. And I am here to encourage anybody who's on that fence. Maybe you make a lot of trap music and you have a little studio, but you also have some guitars. Well, I'd encourage you to give that a shot. Give that a shake and see what you're able to do. And stick with it, because even if what you're doing doesn't sound as good as the electronic stuff right away, it's because this is more complicated and it takes more finesse, more skill, and more practice. So the ever eternal struggle between good and evil even exists in our art and in our music. And I'm here to stand up for what I feel is good, what I feel has merit and has worth. Bands like Imagine Dragons, I don't even need to acknowledge that band. Maybe they have instruments, but you could have fooled me. That music is horrible. It's garbage music. And again, me and you are special. We have a spark inside of us, which makes people attracted to us, which makes us be able to work and inspire ourselves to greatness. So I'm here to encourage you, don't get sucked in by all these other trappings, all this other attractive stuff. That's all false. It doesn't hold anything as far as a long-term path of in 5 years you're going to be able to come back to that and it's still going to be good. That's all like water, like sand through your hands. This will never die. And it's because of people like me and like you. So don't ever forget who you are and work hard at your art, Because what we're up against is, and these massive corporations with trillions of dollars behind that. So, even if there isn't a chance of you ever exposing yourself on a chart or, making it big, does that mean you should stop doing what you're doing and we should lay down and let this type of art, we'll call it, I guess, just bowl in and say, yeah, rock is dead. It's about time. Good riddance. No. That's not going to happen on my watch. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Keep the faith, brothers. And peace. Gee, that was corny, wasn't it? You know what I mean.